Hi, and welcome back to the Stained Canvas. Today I put together a really fun little project. It's gel plate image transfer mixed with acrylic ink markers. Now you can use Poscas. I love Poscas. I have this set of De La Rowney. They're like Walmart paint pens, so those works just fine as well. First off, I'm going in with some Payne's Gray. I love the Payne's Gray acrylic paint for this. We're just going to go over our gel plate. Now, I mixed a retardant into my paint just because my studio is extremely dry, so I need it to be able to go onto the gel plate. Or else it won't do a proper transfer. So now I have this wonderful image of Marilyn Monroe, and I just thought, you know what, this would be a perfect image to do my transfer with. So I'm going to place it down very carefully on top of the acrylic paint that I thinly applied with my brayer. And now I'm just going to put another, a little piece of paper on top here because the edges, I don't want to get my fingers all yucky. So I'm just going to rub that properly just to get the image transfer done really well. And then I'm going to pull up this scrap piece of paper here. See how all the around the edges it became on that paper. I'm also going to like try and tidy up more. I don't actually want the edges of anything. I just want the Marilyn Monroe transfer. So I'm just trying to get as much excess off as possible. So I'm just going to pull it off right now. And now it looks very faint, and that's okay. That's kind of what we want. We didn't want a very thick layer of acrylic paint on there, but you could see it just fine. And you can also see around the paper it left an edge. Do you see that up the top and around the sides? So what we're going to do is take a baby wipe, and I'm going to clean up any little marks that are all around the edge like that. I don't want them. They will not be part of my final art piece. And then, our gel plates are not all smooth. Sometimes they leave little marks. So while you're going in with the baby wipe, I would also wipe away any marks that are not specifically the thing you're trying to transfer. So if there's any marks up in the white parts or anything like that, this is the time to tidy it up. Now I'm going to go in with, I have all these markers here. I think these are Faber-Castell, the little skinny ones. I'm just to help myself out and to give myself a little bit of a buffer. I'm going to take a light blue and trace all around the picture of Marilyn Monroe. And I'm going to get into the like cracks of her elbow and her knee that you'll see here too with the little one. I don't want to destroy her. I'm going to want to draw around her. So this kind of enhances her outline for me so that I don't accidentally color on her, because that would kind of ruin the entire thing that I'm trying to do. So I just go in with this very light blue all around. And then once I'm kind of done like this, you see I filled in her elbow and the crack of her knee there. I'm not actually redrawing anything. I'm just doing the outline of her. So I'm not, doing the crease of her legs or anything like that. Just around the outline so that when I'm filling in all the background, I don't accidentally erase part of her or color on top of part of her. So what I'm going to do is go in with the red, and I'm going to start kind of doing like sunshine rays, right? I want it to be angled off to the side. So I'm going to figure out kind of where I want my red, and I'm going to very carefully trace next to the blue that I already did. So this is where it like really saves my butt, because I have an easier time visualizing where this print is. So I'm not accidentally, coloring over anything. And then I'm going to go in also as soon as I'm done the red, I go in with, I think it's the yellow. And then I do the same thing, and I'm kind of eyeballing where I want these rays of color to be. I'm aiming a little bit for the center out. So we're just going to continue this, and I trace along the blue line where I've already made as well, and then fill that section in. And then I do the same with the green and the blue and the orange. And it's just filling in, tracing very, very, very carefully, not coloring on top of my transfer. I mean, I guess you could color your image transfer if you wanted to, but this whole thing was giving Marilyn Monroe a really, cool background. And the thing with Posca markers or acrylic paint pens on the gel plate is you have to let them dry, right? So I'm going in with the blues, and then I'm going to do an orange, and then I'm going to let all that dry because the transfer itself, and then by this time the red on the other side has dried, so I need the blue over here to dry as well, because now I'm going to go in with my matte medium, and now that everything's all dried, I know it won't pull up onto my brayer, right? So we're going to apply matte medium nice and thick all over what we just colored in. And I don't want to push too hard because I don't want to ruin the image transfer, but I want to make sure everything is covered, really juicy, really well, applied on top of this. And then I'm going to take my clean piece of paper that I want to have transferred onto. So mine's just a copy paper. And I'm going to take an old piece of paper on top of that as well, just so that I don't get any excess matte medium on my hands. So I'm just going to rub that a little, and then I'm going to take that off and then continue rubbing the transfer itself. So just like this, just rubbing it. And then once I feel like I've rubbed it enough, I'm going to peel it up, and we get a pretty cool transfer going on. It looks very retro because as you know, with gel plates, it sometimes leaves some paint on the plate, but I think it looks really cool like that. It looks very like retro. It was done, a long time ago or whatnot. But I don't know. I really enjoy and I really like how this one turned out. And if you like this, subscribe for more videos, and I will talk to you guys next time on the Stained Canvas.